we'll be going on to the 5 questions now for each of the candidates. Each of them will have a turn to answer. So I will be representing for SinqIaire, and David Gabriel will be representing War Dog. I'll go ahead and start with SinqIaire. What makes you the most qualified candidate to lead the city?
All right, so experience in time and my time in PARP are, in my opinion, apparent for a mayor, so I won't talk about them much. Instead, I'll state that doing and not just promising is a crucial trait for the candidate that I possess. Every time I saw a problem, I stood up, approached everyone I could, and brought people together to solve it rather than live with it. As a result, many areas were modernized, including staff policies and game regulations. This change may not have been as noticeable to others, but for me, it represents a significant accomplishment during my stay here. In both politics and daily life, I don't think that the primary means of influence are power and force. Rather, I strive for a comprehension and methodical approach that will properly address an issue rather than merely covering shattered glass with a pretty napkin and calling it a day. Is it more time consuming? Yes, it is. This approach, however, produces greater results since I address the root problems rather than simply the obvious ones.
All right. David Gabriel, if you want to carry on with the same question with your candidate.
Okay, so War Dog, what was gonna make you the most qualified candidate to lead the city? You may speak now.
War Dog, I think you have to speak to answer the questions. Just letting you know.
No, he's at work and his Wi-Fi
He's
is
at
kind
work?
of
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine then. If he has to use if he has to use any kind of like chats, then that's fine, I guess. As long as everyone can read them.
I can just screen share his chats so everyone can see in case he cannot speak. Or Dog, if you cannot speak, just send me the answers and I can just read them for you. Or you can just type them in the chat and I can screen share for everybody.
Let's do this. If the mayoral candidates, if you're speaking, you may come up to the mic stands. So if you're gonna use chat, everyone can see you, so you're not sitting at the back of the stage. So just for next time.
Okay, so we're gonna put this on a hold because we're experiencing technical issues. Looks like one of the mayor candidates' Wi-Fi is kind of acting up. So we were gonna have a break before he till he returns. So please sit tight for us.
Okay, Gabriel, go ahead and repeat the question for War Dog. He says we're good now.
Okay. What makes you the most qualified candidate to lead the city?
All right. What I think makes me the most qualified candidate for the city is I have compassion and I know what needs to be worked on. I've seen it. I've been in the game a few times, uh, and there's a lot that needs to be changed. But I mean, I think I'm worthy and I'm like good to make that change and difference.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You may move on with SinqIaire, Lieutenant.
All right. I don't know what those invisible seats are. We gotta get rid of those. All right, SinqIaire, how will you ensure that that regular citizens' voices are heard? You may come up to the mic.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yep.
ignore the invisible chairs.
Instead of relying on our presumptions or opinions, my team and I are functioning on the word of the community. Some people are aware that I've already asked some individuals and organizations for their thoughts on certain issues. These responses served as a guide for our group, for our team, as we developed a methodical strategy to raise our quality of living. 2 official social media profiles have already been created, and anyone can use them to confidentially or publicly notify us of any issues or worries or ask any questions. My team and I will listen to our citizens regardless of their background. If we are unsure about a particular problem or circumstances, instead of disregarding them and acting in a way that only I believe is right, we support and value the innovative ideas and activities of our people. While all of us are here, I'll use the chance to ask all of you to not keep quiet if the problem arises. Speak up, be direct, and cooperate with us. I promise that everything is achievable as long as the concept and issues are discussed aloud rather than remaining unsaid thoughts.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Gabriel.
Okay, so War Dog, how will you ensure that regular citizens' voices are gonna be heard?
I can go around and try to connect with the community. I think that's what's the biggest thing. I can ask individuals and try to get their input. I can go to departments and see what needs to be changed and what their opinion is on things. Um, Honestly, just like what I said, like going to the community, really trying to connect, be out, really kind of be heard. Holding events at parks, going to, anything like that, really.
Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay, Lieutenant, you may move on with SinqIaire.
Thank you, Gabriel. I cannot move for some reason. There we go. All right, SinqIaire, what will be your biggest goal by the end of your time in office? You have the floor.
As said before, my team and I are actively looking for appropriate solutions to address the several issues I outlined in my candidacy speech. However, the creation of a stable environment remains the main objective for me. What does the term stable environment mean? It means that everyone, law enforcement, fire and rescue, healthcare workers, and civilians, has a choice and various opportunities, so that people are able to safely leave their homes, open their businesses, and do everything else that a regular person would do without reaching for a gun. So that officers, instead of starting their fifth chase during a single night shift, would be able to respond to a simple noisy neighbor's call, go around educational facilities to teach younger generations about safety and the law, and leave for home after their duty to meet their family. By a stable environment, I mean people coexisting and communicating peacefully during festivals, events, parades, etc., instead of quietly standing in the corner waiting for it to be over due to the fear that they will get stabbed, shot, or robbed. An environment where a mass shootout or a murder is not a norm, but a tragic event that didn't happen twice yesterday. It will be a hard process. However, the course of action is already being developed by our team to fix, if not rebuild, the fundament of the house for us and our future generations. No matter how pretty and big the new house you build is, it will fall apart if the foundation itself is falling apart. There is also no place for the social trend of only me, myself, and I, which makes people think that they can only rely on themselves and that they do not have anyone to go to, which only causes the feeling of being cornered and pressured to do everything on their own. It causes self isolation and the appearance of the unspoken rule as long as it doesn't harm me, it's not my concern, which not only affects citizens but departments as well. This breaks us apart rather than making us stronger. Therefore, it is something that needs to be worked on through coexisting in a stable environment that lets two completely different people see that they have something in common after all.
All right, thank you. Gabriel.
Okay,
You
thank
have
you,
the floor now.
Lieutenant. Okay, so, War Dog, how do you
Yes.
plan on being transparent with the server population about issues?
Well, I think honestly the biggest thing, and everyone knows this, is the voice chat update that
Wait,
happened. I believe.
hold on. Gabriel, he has to answer 3.
Yes.
He didn't answer 3.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, so I skipped one. What
Uh,
will what? Yeah, I apologize for that. What will your biggest goal be by the end of the time in your office?
Honestly, trying to make a difference, trying to get I know like mafias kind of haven't really been active with the new updates that got put in place. Honestly, speeders, we all know them. Shootings happen quite a lot. But if we kind of just like my goal is to have departments kind of focus more on that, kind of get out with the community, not be hated as much. I don't know if they are, but maybe just try to like have them kind of crack down on like anything that's going on that people know about. Like I said, like I mentioned, shootings and stuff. But my goal is just to kind of make a change, be as good as I possibly can, and make a pretty big difference for PARP, and hopefully it goes for the good. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Lieutenant, you may move on with SinqIaire once again.
All right. SinqIaire, how do you plan on being transparent with the server population about issues?
In addition to being a human right, people's access to knowledge about the place they live in serves as a means of assuring the public that action is being taken rather than only spoken. I believe that keeping the community aware serves my personal interests. In addition to monitoring how people respond to our ideas and intentions, we would also be able to prevent any sudden reactions or concerns due to the change that we neglected to disclose and explain. To put it another way, that will increase social stability. Besides holding town halls more frequently, I intend to use both official and unofficial government pages to inform the public of any plans or changes. I understand that the biggest source of ideas and knowledge is our people. Therefore, I aim to involve our community in municipal life through town halls, planned events, and discussions. People will, in one way or another, be kept informed with accurate information. That is one of my biggest goals. Forewarned means forearmed.
All right, thank you. Gabriel, you may.
Okay, thank you. Okay, War Dog, how do you plan on being transparent with the server population about issues?
All right, like I said before, I know everyone knows about the VC that came out January 1st or the 7th, and that was the biggest thing that happened. There's a major decrease in server SSUs, and just honestly, people being in the server, it went down from like a queue of being like 20 sometimes to a queue of 10 to now only the server being 20 people in it. But honestly, I think like we can make it better. Is Hang on one second, give me. All right, sorry. So I think what we can do is try to maybe have better RPs. Maybe people can like if there's a crash, instead of just like not voiding it, we can actually have like a fire department come and handle it, or if there's a shooting, maybe like take it more seriously and not just spray and pray, if you know what I mean. But I mean, it really depends on who wants to do it. Sometimes they take long, and I get that, but I mean, this game's kind of having about like talking about like having fun and like being realistic, but I mean, it's kind of hard with the VC and the chat changes. It's really hard.
Okay, is that everything you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right. SinqIaire, due to the recent Roblox update, how will you make the community more active within the game?
So we are unable to actually force people to enter the game if they do not want to. It is not like we even plan to. I do understand that some people are unsure about playing with the new update. They do not want to either get disappointed or get upset because the reality didn't meet their expectations. It is okay since we all have our emotions. However, there are always two sides of a coin. Everybody emphasizes the bad one, yet everything happens for a reason. It's a perfect opportunity to come together and support one another in adjusting to the latest update. Encourage everyone else to play together instead of becoming upset over the update. That will show others that you can enjoy the game with or without chat. Unfortunately, in my opinion, there isn't enough content or awareness to show others uh, these amazing scenes and roleplays. It is our problem to resolve, however. More advertisements, social media posts, and online resources devoted to roleplay encouragement will be introduced. Our team is already excited to see some of the ideas we already got, so they can become reality and get introduced to the public.
All right, thank you. Gabriel, you may go ahead.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so War Dog. Due to the recent Roblox update, how will you make the community more active within the game?
Didn't we just ask that?
Excuse me?
Did we? Didn't we just ask that?
No,
Oh
that was the
yes.
last candidate. You haven't answered yet.
Yeah, yeah.
All
You
right.
have to also answer that. Yeah.
All right. Can you repeat the question? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. So, due to the recent Roblox update, how will you make the community more active within the game?
I think if we host more events, we could possibly get more players. Obviously, we have, I believe, 12,000 in the server right now. We can do more events. We can do more like fun activities. We can. Hmm, fuck.
Okay, so due to some technical issues once again, we will have to wait at least 3 minutes until the mayor candidate is back. I apologize for this.
Public has questions for the candidates, you guys can put them in the chat and the moderators will ask the candidates.
I have a question for the candidate, and this is for any candidate to answer. Um, so there has been recent concerns of our law enforcement and uh, their 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 education on law and how they're enforcing their law. How do you guys plan on addressing those issues?
SinqIaire, if you want to come up and answer, you may.
Okay. All right, so before addressing any major problems like that, we need to make sure that we have the stable environment that they can actually dedicate their time to learning these laws and going through certain trainings. We also need educated specialists that either come from the court or from the outside, maybe from another state, that will assist us, because currently our court is not as active as it's supposed to be. I believe that once the court will be back up and running and we will have less organized crimes that law enforcement will be busy with, they should be able to actually study the law more precisely.
All right, thank you. Is War Dog back yet?
I do not think so.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
back. Sorry, I had to deal with something.
Quick
Okay.
announcement before we get going. Now since we have moved on from the questions for both the candidates that I and Gabriel will have asked, we will allow them to ask each other questions. Any questions that they have for each other, they can discuss together, and then we will allow you guys, the audience, to ask your questions, and they will answer. If you have any questions, please post them in the VC chat. If for whichever candidates you are choosing, let's say if you're asking SinqIaire a question, or actually, you know what? Let's do this. They will be for both of the candidates, and they will be answered by both. So that way we can get their answers on how they plan on answering your questions.
Also, if
So
you do decide to ask questions, I apologize for that, Lieutenant. Please ping the moderators or the mayor candidate so we know the question you asked.
So after the candidates are done discussing with each other and asking each other questions, we will be answering questions from you guys. So, thank you. All right, SinqIaire and War Dog, you may discuss now if you have any questions for each other. SinqIaire, you may come to the stand.
Yeah, I do have a question for War Dog. How do you plan to keeping other citizens safe if during our run there were threats to both me and you of kidnappment, and instead of denying threats towards me as I did it towards you, you said you told somebody surprise me when they asked if they wanted heart attack or drowning for me. Can you please explain that?
Um, can I have a time of when that happened or what chat that happened in?
That was about a week ago, or maybe a week and a half ago.
Who was it by? I'm just trying to look it up right now in the chat.
It was Loc NPC or Lozy.
All right, let me just search that up.
Okay, you guys in the VC chat, please hold your questions for now. And so we can figure out who you're asking. If you're asking SinqIaire, ping me. If you're asking War Dog, ping Gabriel. If you are asking both of them, ping both of us. That way we can tell. So please hold your questions for now. We don't need the chat flooding with questions while we're on something else right now.
Are we good to return to our discussion?
Yes, you may.
All right. All right. Let me go back to the considered by a week ago. Oh, I believe yeah, that was just a joke. That was something that, I mean, he was being unserious. I know that. Uh, and I definitely was too. So that was nothing serious. That was nothing personal, nothing like that.
No, I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, I don't have any questions for you either.
Okay, so now everyone can ask the candidates questions.
Do keep in mind, please be let's be respectful for one thing. We don't need to start flooding questions. Understand we can't get to all of them. We will try to get to them as many as we can. No,
Okay.
we do not want to hold all of you up for too long. So if you don't get to your question, please don't throw a fit.
Okay,
We will try to get
Dog.
to as many as we can.
Yes, Gabriel.
So
You can sit down.
we got a question about the increase of crime near the edge of Susquehanna and Swatara. What are you going to do to support the officers into fighting the crime in those areas? Also, please direct to any obo because he asked the question.
All right, let me just look at the question. We can help support officers by maybe a more dedicated training. Maybe you'll teach them more like firearm safety and skills, new tactics, introduce them to new tactics, have them train more, go to the shooting range that is located in Swatara and have them practice maybe 2 times a week, get them more familiar with rifles, shotguns, anything of that sort, and just kind of, like I mentioned, introduce them to new tactics and more. Yeah.
Okay, Lieutenant Leo, so
Go ahead.
Faith has a question for you, if you can read it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first paying KREV asked a question, so I'm going to go ahead and read that one, so I'm not going to just skip over it. Since that was before we said to hold on questions, I'm just going to go ahead and read it now. So, SinqIaire, why should we wait for a stable environment before equipping our law enforcement with the proper education? The unstableness is due to lack of education.
So unstableness doesn't only come from the lack of education. It is more of a consequence of the unstableness. People would rather have law enforcement out in the street right now, especially with the rise of the crime that is yet to be fixed, than have them sitting in the classroom studying the law. For now, people at least see law enforcement and can somewhat coexist with them if they just sit in the classroom. Unfortunately, studying law, that is really important. I'm not saying it is not important, and I'm not saying that we will be not doing that. That's actually a really good idea to focus on. People would not see law enforcement at all out in the streets, and therefore they may not understand that it is for the improvement. They may just think that the streets are no longer as safe as they were before.
Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay. Another question for you, SinqIaire. It's from Faith Gaming. Many of us served, sacrificed, and built this community for decades. What sacrifices have you made? That prove your patriotism?
Pardon, can you repeat that?
Of course. By Faith Gaming, many of us served, sacrificed, and built this community for decades. What sacrifices have you made that prove your patriotism?
All right, so as much as I have been building this community. First of all, the building that you're currently sitting in is partially made by me. The career fair event that I stayed up for a few days, all nights. I also was the one who made this. Another thing that is really important to mention, we had a problem of discrimination due to gender. I have seen it all for the last almost 4 years, I believe actually 4 years. I worked with staff, I pressured people to pay more attention and have harsher punishments for any kind of discriminations, especially against women, because it was not really enforced back then. Another probably important thing to say, we had multiple staff issues that I was involved in that I spent my time for, that I went around asking multiple people to fix until I found at least two that actually listened.
Okay.
Okay, you didn't
David,
please
if you want to
fix it.
ask, if you want to ask that same question for War Dog, since that was for both.
Okay, which one was it?
It was the one by Faith.
Okay,
It's
okay,
above
so War Dog.
Kayla's.
So many of us have served, sacrificed, and built this community for decades. What sacrifices have you made that prove your patriotism?
All right, so I'm coming up on, I believe, my 4th or 5th year here with PARP. I haven't been staff, but I've definitely have seen it all. I've been in multiple departments: Harrisburg Bureau of Fire, Harrisburg Bureau of Police, and now I'm in Susquehanna Township. I've definitely helped out. I was a former lieutenant in Harrisburg Bureau of Fire. I trained cadets. I went through it all. Um, I'm deputy chief of Dauphin County Task Force, which is the hazmat team. Uh, I've done a lot for that. I've bought liveries. I've put a lot of work into that, staying up, doing stuff like that. Um, Harrisburg Bureau of Police, uh, former senior officer, uh, kind of helped when I was a sergeant, and trained cadets. Got the award for you know training that many, the FTO ribbon. And over the years, I've done my part, just going around and trying to get in different departments and make a little bit of a difference. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So this is gonna be a question for both candidates, asked by Lance 1112. Okay, so remember it is a question for both of the candidates. Will there be any changes to the speed limits in the state?
Something I want to add: these two candidates are not running for state. It is the state governor's decision, but we can still talk about speed limits in Harrisburg city limits, as they're running for Harrisburg city offices, not state offices. Just want to make that clear. But we can still talk about the speed limits. We will get to your question. Just wanted to make sure that that was understood. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so because War Dog was the last one to speak, SinqIaire, please hop on the stage and express your opinion on this question.
I do not currently believe that speed limit is a problem, so there are no changes to be made. However, it may be changed later after a discussion with certain people and looking at the reports of district attorney, since they are preparing them for me right now. However, as of now, no changes.
Okay, thank you, SinqIaire. So, War Dog, you're next. Same question.
All right. Yeah, I don't think there's any changes that needs to be made. I believe the speed limit is set and is a good, number right now. Uh, Throughout the city, I believe it. I mean, what it's set to now is the appropriate speed people should be going. Um, Obviously, there are speeders, which police can enforce, but other than that, I believe there's nothing to be changed.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Question for SinqIaire. What have you? This is asked by Vertez. Not sure how to pronounce your username. I apologize if I pronounced it incorrectly. What have you done specifically that benefited the whole community or a part of it already prior to being elected? What root causes of the issue you plan to address, since you mentioned that in your speech?
I believe I already mentioned what did I do for the community because there was a similar question. And I'm not sure if you still want me to answer that. However, what were causes of the issues? A moment, I'm reading. All right, so as I mentioned, there are a few root problems that need to be addressed. One is a lack of communication between people. I believe that after the pandemic lockdown, people still did not recover and still feel like they're self-isolated and therefore they refuse to communicate. This leads to multiple issues such as newcomers are unable to enter certain groups or overall not wanting to stay because they don't feel like we're a team. Another problem that I did outline was lack of infrastructures. It was already brought up actually. We need more local businesses. We need people to support these businesses so youth and overall all people of our city have the opportunities to work, to do their own businesses. So people, instead of picking up the guns, they go and actually do some work. Right now, this is our main problem that we are targeting because it is connected with other problems that can be addressed just a little bit later. That's all.
All right, thank
Okay,
you. Go ahead.
so uh, due to we have limited time, sadly we cannot answer all of the questions, and this will be the last question. Thank you to everyone that did ask questions and were respectful enough to be patient. Like I said, I'm going to apologize once again for not answering all of the questions, and we will move on to the next stage.
All right, so
Also, as extra information, the next phase and the last phase is going to be the voting part. You all are going to have, let me check. Okay, 5 minutes exactly. No more than 5 minutes. Just waiting
all
for
right.
the confirmation.
I have the next question pulled up. Do you want me to go ahead and read?
Wait, wasn't that the last question?
Which one?
The one SinqIaire answered, because 5 minutes already passed.
I'm not sure. I thought you were saying there was going to be one more after that one.
No, I meant that's gonna be the last one.
Okay. Here. All right. You want me to go ahead and we'll move on from here?
Yep, next phase voting. 5 minutes exactly.
All right. So, as stated before, we apologize we weren't able to get to all of your questions. I'm sure for the candidates that you are voting for, you will find your answers from them in due time. And we hope that all of your questions will be answered in due time, though we do not have time to get to all of your questions. So now we will move on to the voting process. So you will vote for your respective candidate, which one you are wanting to vote for office, and then we will close after that. Thank you.
Ghost, if you can start the voting, or Pastor.
The voting form is in PARP announcements.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 5 minutes. Okay, so a public announcement. 2 minutes are left for everyone to vote.
You guys have like a day to vote, by the way. You guys don't need to vote like at this exact moment.
Be good to go ahead and close. They can vote in their spare time. Gabriel, I'm going to go ahead with closing.
Okay.
All right. So at this time, we will be closing the event for the mayoral debate. If you have any questions, anything you need to know, or any concerns, you can ask at any time. The voting is still open, so if you have not yet voted, don't freak out. You can still vote now. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Yes, War Dog?
I would just like to say thank you and best of luck to you, SinqIaire.
I appreciate it. Good luck to you as well. It was nice debating with
Yes, it
you.
was. Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
All right. So on that note, we will be closing at this time, so you are free to leave and go about your day. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate your attendance. Have a wonderful day, and if you need anything, please let us know. Thank you.